Go to the new live control room and click go live, and we should be there. Go live. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a rather impromptu stream that I wasn't exactly expecting to make, but basically I've been contacted, or I have contacted, a new startup company that's been in Canada recently that's been making a few bits of noise that I'm interested in. Please introduce yourselves.
Hi, hello everyone, I'm Rachel.
I'm Emmanuel.
Hey everyone, my name is David.
And together,
And we are Chthonic Software.
So Chthonic Software, you're attempting to change the streaming space, from what I understand. Could you just talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to get into the streaming space?
Sure.
Sure, yeah. So basically, we saw live stream really growing on YouTube, and we were trying to figure out exactly like what was the appeal for audiences. We saw with streamers, it sort of came right on the heels of the big growth in streaming seemed to come on the heels of the adpocalypse. So we could see some of that happening, and
A lot of the YouTubers we were following at the time started to pivot and do more live streams, and we looked at the viewers and we thought, like, well, why would you watch a live stream versus just tuning in and watching the pre-recorded version later?
Mm.
and we just said, hey, well, it's got to be because of the interaction. People are really enjoying being able to interact. So we thought, hey, right now they've only got a chat box. Maybe if we built some really neat tools and that allows you to interact with your audience a bit in more interesting ways, that would have an appeal. And the other thing we noticed was with monetization, people were really feeling like this was one of the ways to offset the problem of the apocalypse.
Is the super chat, so like live donations.
And we thought, well, one of the other things that was also really interesting was the same subscribers would tend to donate more over time, and we thought, well, that's got to be because they're getting more meaningful interaction. They're attached to the stream. So maybe if we built some cool audience interaction tools, that would hopefully grow how much you were making on your channel by just getting people more engaged in your content. So
Yeah.
that was sort of the inspiration.
And as live streaming started to become more popular, we saw that some of our favorite streamers were turning to other tools, really tape and glue tools
Yeah.
in order to get that audience interaction. So there's things like tweeting out questions or tweeting out polls. And as you know, the chat goes really fast, especially as you grow in your subscriber count. And so in order to offset that and get that interaction with your viewers, you need to tell people who want to ask you questions to go to Twitter or some of these other platforms.
Yeah, or a straw poll or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
And so we thought to ourselves, well, what if they were all in one place? What if the streamer could interact in a meaningful way with their viewers right there in the same platform without having to, manage Discord and manage Twitter, Facebook, try to balance it out, manage the chat, because the chat just goes so fast. I mean, honestly, I don't know how anybody keeps track of the chat. But I can't do it, and I've got like 5 people watching my stream, so...
There seems to be a kind of critical mass. As soon as you start getting around 200 to 300 people who are watching a stream, where it is going so fast that you only get the super chats, and even then some of those get lost. So it's it's a problem that you're trying to solve. You said you've been running for about a year now. Is that?
Yeah,
We started developing.
We started developing a year ago. I wouldn't call it running. We've had, I'd say, a stable version. So we started a beta test in September, and JF was actually, JF Garipi. He was actually the first streamer to try us out, and he tried us out for a few months, and we were able to really improve the stability of the platform based on his feedback, and added in an OBS plugin and a lot of things. And so we've really only been kind of out there since September, I'd say.
Out there since September. But you've is it functional now? That's the
Yes.
that's the thing?
Yeah, it's live right now. Anyone can start using it now if they go to the website.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
The website is https //chthonic.com.
Yeah.
And the way you spell that is CHTHONIC software.com. And everybody can try it out. I really urge everybody to try it out. They can go and start a stream for free. And we make it as easy as possible for everyone to get in there.
Do you see yourself as sort of like a competition with another sort of third-party streaming software like Streamlabs, which utilizes OBS?
Yeah, only in a small way, in the sense of, I guess Streamlabs' appeal is that it's kind of the donations side of things, kind of that piece, and a bit of interaction, right? You'll get, the super chat will pop up on your video. But aside from that, Streamlabs doesn't really provide any tools, really, like other interactive tools that wrap around the stream. So we're only slightly in competition with Streamlabs, but in a lot of ways we are kind of a domain of our own. Like, nobody really does this yet. And for now, we don't host the stream. You stream from wherever you're streaming from. So you use OBS and then through YouTube, or we're not Twitch. The idea is to be completely platform agnostic. You could be streaming from anywhere. Right now, we're just starting off with YouTube, but it's very easy to be integrated with Twitch. Actually, our previous beta, we were integrated with Twitch. And and then it's a wraparound. It's a wraparound system, wraps around your stream, and you get all the interactive tools. So far as we can tell, we're the first to be doing this.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And one of the advantages of the system is that if you're a YouTuber, a viewer that is, who doesn't really want to interact much, you can still go to YouTube and you can just follow along with the stream there. But we embed your YouTube stream in our site. And that way, if you do want to interact, if you do really want to be a part of that community, then you can head over to our site and get the whole host of tools that we provide, such as, polls, pulses, and all of these other things.
Yeah.
So you've talked about like a couple of these interactive tools, but what have you got that currently works, and what are you working on at the moment?
So right now, what we have that currently works is when you get into Entropy, it starts off. You'll have the video widget, the embedded video, and then you have the chat, just like you're used to in YouTube. And then we also take super chats or paid chats. I don't know if super chats is like a copyrighted term or whatever, so we've just kind of been saying paid chats. But yeah, and it works very similar to kind of the UI you're used to in YouTube. Sorry, UI is user interface for those who don't know. And then that donation, we process the donations, super chat donations, and you don't have to process them through YouTube. So we actually take half of what YouTube normally charges.
But as for like tools we're adding, we've got polls, we've got pulses, which is a weird concept that we sort of put in basically.
Yeah, pulses is new. It's we're seeing how it catches on, but you can explain.
So the idea was sort of like every user gets a set of emojis to sort of describe like their state, whether they're really excited or whether they're
like laughing or applauding the stream, or maybe they're unimpressed.
Yeah, sort of the spam F to pay respects.
Yeah.
We thought, well, maybe it'd be great if you could actually capture that en masse in something more understandable. So that's what Pulse is.
And so
basically.
We call it Pulse because it's kind of like a heart monitor, where like it's a little graph that will show kind of the different states that people are at. And like, so for instance, the example I use is like, if you tell a joke and it really hits home and people think it's funny, like you can all of a sudden see your whole audience kind of applaud or laugh at that moment. And so that's kind of the idea, the vision behind Pulse, but it's a very new concept, so we'll see how it catches on.
That's really cool. That sounds like it sounds quite similar to something like the Facebook videos, where if you get live reactions coming in, but obviously more metered with the scale. I really like that. Yeah.
It is, but it's also kind of on a time basis. So originally the vision was that it would kind of be a bit of an analytics tool for later as well in the stream. So if the streamer wants to look back at the stream and see the moments where he got the most interaction or the most like dissatisfaction, it would be time stamped with the whole video, so you could see those moments. Whereas I think with Facebook, it doesn't
No.
It doesn't really keep record of that. It just kind of shows the interaction as it happens.
Yeah, it's just kind of in a moment. That's very cool. So, as someone who's a streamer who wants to, who's interested in using your software, for instance, like, do you have a full set of analytics software, or does that get exported, or how do you analyze this stuff?
It's us. Go ahead.
So far we do keep a pretty comprehensive record, and we do save your stream to our database after it's done. So we have a record of the polls that you launch and how many people answer your poll and what they answered, for example.
Yeah. We store everything right now. We just haven't built a very nice analytics system yet.
Yeah, that was kind of one of those things where we need more users to see what streamers even want that to look like.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I did have UI for that at first, and then we kind of hid it for a little while because we weren't sure what that should look like. But another feature that we also have in the platform is call-ins. So and this is our newest feature, and I actually have a video on YouTube showing a live test of call-ins for the first time. And what it is well, you can turn your stream into a call-in show, right, like that instantaneously. I think a lot of streamers use Discord.
Yeah, or
you don't have to anymore.
Or I have a number of friends who run sort of news style programs, and they'll have viewers who they want to call in. And at the moment, it's really awkward for them to do that. So this sounds like
we noticed that. So yeah, that's why we really got down to it and tried to get call-ins as fast as possible into the platform.
So just how does that work then? Is there do they go onto the site and they just click the call-in button, or something as simple as that?
Yeah, so when they're in Entropy, so they see everything. So if your viewer clicks into Entropy, they see your embedded video, and then they see all the interactive features around them. And then there's the call-in. We break it up into widgets. That's what we call them. I know widgets is like an umbrella term that means a lot of things, but so we have a call-in widget that will show up on the screen for the viewers. And when the streamer's ready to open calls, they just open it, and what the viewers can do is they send in pitches. So you can send in the pitch to try to convince the streamer to call you. You'd be like, "Oh, call me. I want to debate you on whatever." And
that's fantastic.
And then they're sorted by upvotes, actually, because we figured a streamer wants to talk to the most relevant or the most interesting caller, not always just the random person who ever called first. So it's sorted by upvotes, and then when the streamer's ready, you call whoever's at the top of that list or whoever you want to, and it connects the call right through the browser, and there you go, you're live.
That's really awesome. I really like the idea of that. So that's the stuff which you're beta testing at the moment. That's kind of like you've just done your first live trial with that one. Is there anything else in the works that you're thinking of doing at the moment?
So let's just sort of explain one of the. Right now, it looks to me like the screen can get a little bit cluttered. We've got a lot of widgets, but the plan was always was that as a streamer, you could sort of pick and choose the widgets that you wanted. So as for like widgets we're developing right now, actually mostly we're just trying to get the word out.
Yeah, of course.
Collins was sort of the last thing that we did, and we're just bug fixing it now. But sort of the idea is that we can add as many widgets as we want, and you just pick the ones you want. You can set all the colors up in the way you like it, and so you can kind of have a very personalized show.
Yeah, we tried to make it very, very customizable, so you can actually even add some branding. So we have a widget called it's a banner widget.
Yeah.
And so if you, as a streamer, kind of want to promote your brand, or kind of have a message you want, you can add the banner widget, and that will show up for viewers. If there's widgets you're not ready to use or you don't want to, you can close out of them, and they're hidden and they won't show up. And so the idea was always to have more widgets than the streamer could possibly fit on one screen, and then they pick and choose what they want. And one thing you can do as well is if you wanted to use all of them, let's say, so I actually do this on the video, my demo video, or the live test.
Yes.
I have my donation tracker widget. Oh yeah, that's another widget I forgot to mention. Yeah. Donations tracker widget, and then my polls and call-ins. Like I have everything, and they can't fit on one screen. So what I had is my donations widget hidden until I was ready for it, and then I opened it up and I saw it track my super chats, and then you can like close them and open them dynamically right then and there while you're live.
I've never seen that before on a streaming service, so that's really cool. I really like the idea of that. So okay, ballpark here. It's a year's time. What would you like to have kind of achieved in a year?
Well, streamer feedback is really important right now.
Yeah.
So our prime directive is to get a hold of some people who can triumph our product for us, and then to take their feedback and turn it into the platform that they really need to enable them.
We're not streamers ourselves; we're just developers.
Yeah.
So it's
so
way
to
more
really
useful.
see it in action in the world and see how, you know, what is useful for streamers, what isn't, and how the audience responds, and yeah, to just watch the platform kind of adapt in the space while it's being used in the real world, so that we can get in there and make it more useful to you guys. That's really the goal.
And Rachel mentioned this a bit previously, but we have this really advanced plugin system for our widgets, and you know, with the help of the streamer feedback, we can go out and we can actually very quickly make a new widget and push it to the platform without any sort of interruption. And then the next time you start up your stream, you'll have a new widget available for you that you can just launch with right away.
So a few widgets that we've actually been thinking of doing is we noticed that a lot of streamers, or a lot of you'll reference another video and you'll want to play clips of it, but because of like all these copyright strikes, streamers are afraid to show too much of that video. We are thinking of introducing a widget, a separate widget there, where you could embed the video that you're referencing and talking about. That way it's giving proper credit to the original stream, and it's not putting your video at risk of copyright strikes, and then your viewers can play it and pause it at their leisure as they want, and they can see the broader context of the video you're referencing. And
you as a streamer would still be able to hop them around and show the clips that you wanted to. That was like one of the ideas that was suggested to us by another streamer. But yeah, as for ideas for new widgets, we're really sort of open on that.
Yeah.
I think that the only real stretch goal that we have potentially that we've talked about a bit is right now we don't provide any of the streaming ourselves, and we found out that it'd be actually very doable for us to actually host streams. But again, that's really up to, if people are happy using the platforms they're using, then there's no reason to do it.
Sure, but it's definitely a stretch goal. It's something that would cost us significantly more to host the streams ourselves. But you know, if people are running into issues where other platforms are actually taking down their streams, because right now, while they are being censored, and like YouTube will censor even your super chats and send them off to some charity if they deem them unworthy or whatever.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if streamers are then starting to experience like their streams are being taken down or interrupted, well then maybe we would stretch into actually hosting it ourselves. That way you could just stream directly through us and not have to worry about other platforms at all.
Yeah, that sort of maybe be our year goal.
Awesome.
And of course, providing the streamers with all the sort of analytics and things that they need to look back and improve upon.
Yeah, analytics is something we're really excited to provide, but we just need streamer feedback on what that should look like and what you even want and what format you want it in. Yeah.
Wonderful. So basically, the rundown is cool plugins, censorship-free, with new analytics coming, streamer feedback required, and an awesome dev team who will build widgets for me whenever I want. So there's that.
Pretty much.
Exactly.
At half the cost that YouTube charges you.
Just for anyone who doesn't know, YouTube takes 30% of all super chats, so that's really good. That's a really good deal. So just I've been talking with Rachel here, with David, who's on the right-hand side, with Emmanuel on the left, and they've been Chthonic Software. That's Chthonic. You can find all the links to their social media and their website in the description of this video. At least I think the website's in there. Otherwise, I'll update it as soon as this stream ends. But thank you very much for talking to me, guys. And
thank you so much.
No problem, and looking forward to getting used to and checking out your platform. Thank you very much.
That would be amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us on. Yeah.
Wonderful. Let me just